Daniel, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm good, Nate, man. Thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate that.
Man, thank you for joining us tonight, man. You're a new face, brother, on the live.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But you asked the question, was this racist?
Yes, sir.
And you seem to be very sincere and wanting to know that. And it is definitely racist.
Okay.
You ain't going to understand this, and I'm hoping you do some research and you find out. But it's
All right.
because the power dynamic is off.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, white people are in that thing saying that is real. This is mental, but they're in a superior position.
Okay.
You know, called the system of racism, white supremacy. Now, you were in the profession, you was a police officer. So you have the mindset of a white supremacist. You know,
okay.
you're indoctrinated into that system, whether you know that or not. So it's hard for you to see the system, but I follow you because you're on a mission to help fix the criminal justice system, the police force, to be specific. And that attracts me because I too am on a mission to teach my people about the system of racism, white supremacy. And everybody should look up Dr. Frances Cress Welsing to get an understanding of the system of racism, white supremacy. And again, it is racist because the power dynamic is off. These people live in a gated community because they want to be away from black people. You see what I'm saying? So if anybody come into that neighborhood who they don't want to be there, they're going to respond like racist people. They're going to mob up and do what they do. Black people have been killed for less in the past. You feel? And if the police force is of the same mindset, they're going to get away with the crime like they've done for hundreds of years. So Nathan, I would challenge you to get educated on the system of racism, white supremacy. Please go watch Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's video. She does a good job on teaching our people. At my job, I have a YouTube channel called The Big Black American Secret. This is just a shameless plug. But again, my mission is to educate my people on the system of racism, white supremacy. And you have a huge responsibility, Nathan. You touch a lot of minds. And you are actually, you're covered right now for the system of racism, white supremacy. I know you don't understand that, but you are. You give them a comfort that they so need. They need a black face to explain away their racist behavior. I could be wrong. I would love to hear your view on that. So go ahead.
Yeah. Man, I would say, yeah, you're wrong. I'll definitely say you're wrong, but I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're meaning to say, but I would definitely say you're wrong.
Yeah, but tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, let's start with the gated community. Let's start with that, right? You made a statement and you said that white people live in a gated community because they don't want black people in there.
Prove me wrong.
You truly believe that?
Yeah, and they do too. That's why they respond the way they did.
Well, I mean, in situations like this, brother, listen, I can't prove you wrong because perception's reality. I can't go into your reality and change it, right? Okay. And so, it's not so much about proving you wrong. I'm not here to prove anybody right or wrong, right? I'm here to really bring a lot of transparency to things that people are unaware of. I've been an officer for over 13 years. And so I have an experience that a lot of people won't have the luxury of having, right? And so again, the whole concept of white supremacy, it's an ideology, right? So again, not excusing it, because the idea is you can be whoever you think you are. If you think you're a white supremacist, it's a mentality. You said it earlier, it's an illness, right? It's a mentality, it's a mindset. So that doesn't mean I have to believe it because you think you're superior because you lack melanin in your skin. That's a personal thing that you have going on. It's rightfully so. It's a strong insecurity. If you think that what sets us apart is skin color, listen, you can believe what you want to believe, right? Now, you made a statement and you said, I have a mindset that I'm unaware of, that I am, would you say, a part of white supremacy?
No, you're a white supremacist.
I'm a white supremacist. Jesus Christ.
No, that's crazy, right? That's crazy.
It is. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, brother. Just a little bit. Break it down for me. What does that mean? Educate me and educate the people watching.
Yeah. most people don't realize it, that black people can be white supremacists. Well, they
Okay.
can't be racist because they don't have the power dynamic. But a white supremacist, no matter what your race is, you simply believe that white people's ice is cola. And I'm
Okay.
basically quoting Dr. Claude Anderson on that.
Do you believe that I believe that white people's ice is colder?
You have no choice to believe that, because you've been indoctrinated to believe it. We all have been indoctrinated.
Okay.
But if you don't go through the steps to uneducate yourself on it, then you just operating from just the system. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. You mentioned the young man's hair, that he looked at unkept,
Oh,
and your parents would never let you go out looking like that. But go ahead.
your mic, if you could, your mic is kind of it's a little choppy. If you can
Mike.
yeah, it sounds a little staticky
Let's
kind of.
see. How about now? A
It's
little better? No.
nah, it's still the same. What do you have a mic piece that you connect? Or you have like
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
go ahead and grab it for me real quick. I'm gonna bring up when you fix the mic, I'm gonna just drop you down.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring up Norris, and then I'll bring you back after I get done talking with it.
All right.
All right, go ahead, brother. So we left off at basically saying that we are all a part of white supremacy. You're referring to all black people, right?
Well, all people, period.
All people, period.
You
Okay.
see, everybody, because of the system of racism, white supremacy, we all have been indoctrinated to believe the superiority of white people. I mean, they
But do you believe
back
that?
it up. Well, I know for a fact they're very unsuperior. You know what I'm saying? Based on
Wait, hold on one second. You believe that?
believe
What do you
what?
think? You believe that they're not superior, right?
Oh, I know they're not superior.
So wait 1 second.
Mhm.
Why do you think that I don't believe that?
Because of your viewpoints and some things that you say. Now, I'm gonna clarify that.
Okay.
And again, I don't expect you to understand this. Trust me.
No, you good.
This is some up
Some
level
next
type
level.
of understanding.
All right, go ahead.
Here we go. When you mentioned about the young man's hair, I was of the same mindset as you a few years ago. I'd be thinking, man, that dude looked like a damn shaggy dog. I mean, what the hell? Why his parents let him come out looking like that? But I've learned that no, that is his indigenous hair growing out of his natural head. And for years, they have forced us to follow the European standard of beauty. The only reason they do that is they tell us it's unprofessional, it's uncouth. That ain't why they don't want us to see ourselves like that. They don't want us to fall in love with our natural selves, because if we fall in love with our natural selves, we'll start to rebuild each other. But if you hate what you see, you're going to destroy what you see. You see what I'm saying? It's simple.
Facts.
And it's the thing. See, you have a very important mission, man. I really wish you could really help the police departments. But if you are uneducated on the system of racism, white supremacy, you're going to do more harm than good. And here's what I'm going to say. This one other thing. The National Police Force is the national enforcement arm of the system of racism, white supremacy. That's the muscle. That's why cops can get away with murder, and the system allows it. It's very legal that they walk on very strange lines to make shit look good. You're a police officer. I mean, you're an ex-cop. You know this, but it could be brushed under the rug like, oh well, it was legal. Does that make it right? See that type of shit right there? That's flying in the gray area, man. That's gonna harm black people. I know you don't understand this. Trust me, I know, brother. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak.
Why do you think I won't understand it? Why do you keep saying that?
I hope you will one day understand it, but I don't expect you to understand it today.
I understand more than you think I understand. And let me tell you, let me say this. I think this is a great conversation. Here's the issue. The issue is I don't believe in white supremacy. So if you've been following my channel, you may not have heard me say it before, but white people are regular people. Their skin color doesn't make them great. No white man is superior over me. I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. I don't subscribe to that. So what's interesting is that, as you put earlier, is that you yourself know that to be true, right? You assume that I don't know that. I know that. I say it on this channel all the time. White people are not superior over anybody. That's a mindset. You can
Yeah,
think what you want to think. It doesn't
yeah,
matter to me. You could be and believe who you want to be. I don't care if you have some white people who think they're golden unicorns. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. We live in a country where you can choose to be who you want to be. That's the country we live in now. Now, here's the thing. I don't have any issues with white people. I love all people, right? I love all people. I think we have to be careful when we start throwing these labels around as if white people or people with white skin are the problem. That's not true. Wicked people and evil people, corrupt people are problems to everybody, right? It's not just exclusive to black people. Now, when you make a statement and you say that white people live in a gated community to keep black people out, that's extremely ignorant and it's grossly inaccurate. Why is that? Because black people live in that community. So are they themselves participating in a gated racist supremacist community?
yeah.
And are gated communities meant? What about black? There are plenty of black communities that are gated as well. Are they gated to keep white people out, or are they gated to keep black people out of a community that's for black people? You get what I'm saying? It sounds ignorant.
Again, I do understand your ignorance on the subject. I trust me, I
Okay.
do. But
All right.
that white community that's gated, let's just make up a imaginary white community. It's gated. They're gonna allow a small percentage of black people in that community. But once it get past a certain percentage, them folks going to a white flight. They're gonna leave that black neighborhood.
Wait
It has
one
happened.
second.
It has happened
Wait.
for thousands,
That's not
hundreds
what
of years.
that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, there are black people who live in that community.
White
You just
supremacists that are
stated
black. They're
you
black
just
white supremacists.
so what you're telling me is that gated communities are for the purpose of keeping black people out, even if black people live in the same communities. So what do you call it? Are gated communities racist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
The black people that are allowed to live there are of the same mindset of those white people who live there. They're white supremacists too. It's just a small
But
percentage of them.
I myself live in a gated community, and I
And I
don't think
told
white
you,
people are.
and I told you, you're a white supremacist, man.
All
You're
right, got
proving
it.
my
So
point.
should I not? So I hear you, brother. I hear you. So should I move out of a gated community since I'm no longer supporting white supremacy?
Well, see, you don't know. You think you're not supporting the system. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? And you said for yourself, you don't believe that white people are superior, and they're not, because racism, white supremacy is a lie that has systems in place to keep the system going. I mean, it's some crazy things, you know.
It's a social construct. It's not
Yeah,
real, right?
it's not real, but
Mhm.
it's not real, but it is very, very real. It affects you and I every day, whether we know it or not. You know what I'm saying?
What affects us is black people not working together economically to make
No,
things work. That's what's
no.
impacting us.
Well, see, that again too is the illusion. If you say, well, you niggers just need to work harder, you need to pull yourself
I
up by
never
your
said that.
bootstraps. No, I'm
I
just
never
saying.
said that.
I'm just saying. But
Mhm.
that's the
But
consensus.
no,
Black
no,
people
no,
just
no,
need to work harder.
no. I'm saying
Nobody works harder than black people in America.
I'm saying
Nobody.
I'm saying speak on what I'm talking about, not what you're hearing other people say. This conversation between me and you. I'm saying that this notion of white supremacy, the notion of white power, right? All these things, systemic racism, fine. Perception's reality. I can give anybody that who wants to have the argument. My philosophy is white supremacy, systemic racism, they all fall at the feet of a united group of black people. When we come together economically, all those things become irrelevant. What say you?
What I say is, black people, it's going to be hard for us to come together because you have some black people who are like me, who understand the system of racism, white supremacy, and is trying to educate others on it so that we can get together. And then you have the other group who don't understand the system of racism, white supremacy, who actually believe it doesn't affect them and it might not even exist. It's just
Okay.
some made up thing, that doesn't ain't there. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
So
It's
what do you
going to be
do?
hard for black folks to get together because we're not on the same page.
What
Again,
do you do?
you have the house nigga and you have the field
What?
nigga.
That's not the. Listen, we
That's
know
it.
all that. I'm
You know
saying,
what I'm
what do you
saying?
do about it? You're talking to somebody.
Well, here's
Assume you're talking to somebody who knows all that, because I know all that. So I'm asking you, what do you
no,
do?
you don't.
Whether I do or I don't, give me a solution. How about, let's talk about the
Well,
solution.
the solution is for you to
Hmm.
spend an hour and 23 minutes after your broadcast and
Hmm.
watch Dr. Francis Cress Welson's video. That's
What
all I
makes
need you
you?
to do, brother.
But this is the problem I have with you, brother. You came up here and you've made a lot of grossly assumptions about me. You assumed everything you said were all assumptions. I know exactly who that is. I'm very familiar with him, very educated with the system. I've worked in it. I would have to argue that you yourself are lacking an understanding of how to actually fix the problem. You can tell me one thing, I'm asking you
Mhm.
for a solution. You're telling me what the problems are. Give me a solution. Because I know who he is. I'm very familiar with him, and I'm
Well,
more educated than you would think.
I'm gonna say this.
All right.
Dr. Francis Cress Welson is a female. It's not a guy. So I know you don't know who she is. So
You
please
said
stop
doctor.
stop
No, I said
misleading
I'm
your
very
people,
familiar
man.
with the video. I said I'm very familiar.
Well, listen,
What is
this
the
your
solution?
platform, and I ain't gonna disrespect you.
You're
But
not disrespecting.
my solution is that
Hmm.
all black people have to become educated on the system of racism, white supremacy.
But
It's
that's
like
not
this.
possible.
Well, it has to be possible because if I learned about it, then you can learn about it. But you
What is
have
your
to
What
you
is your
have to
solution to the problem? I'm asking you what the solution is.
the
You're not going to be able to
the
educate
solution
everybody.
is that
Hmm.
everybody strive. Oh, how about that? We all can strive to understand the system of racism, white supremacy, and everybody, if they just watch that hour and 23 minutes by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, y'all could pause this video later and write it down, rewind it. Very important because again, Nathan, you are an ex-police officer.
Hmm.
In order to be a police officer, you actually have to be already of one mindset. You check the boxes on a whole bunch of different things before you actually became a police officer. Some people who are truly militant and 100% black first probably wouldn't be a police officer. They wouldn't
Okay.
even check the boxes. I mean, because you're going to go in there, you're going to be down for your people, and that's not what the system needs or wants. The system
So do you?
wants black
Mhm.
people who act like white people. That's the only way that's going to keep the rest of the black people down, man. I mean, it's crazy, but it's true. I don't know.
So do you? Are you saying that all black people who are police officers are a part of white supremacy? They're part of the problem.
I hate to say this because I got cops in my family. Yes, they are.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, we're just
I hate
having
to
a
say it. I
conversation.
got cops in my family. They
There's
are.
nothing wrong with that. Yes.
Here's why I say that.
Okay.
If the good cops got together and say, hey, we're gonna drive these bad cops out because they fucking up, they're giving us a bad name.
Hmm.
Why haven't they done it?
What do you mean? Why haven't they done it?
Why have
It
they
doesn't.
not
It
done it?
doesn't. But I think that's the problem. I think that's the purpose of my channel, to explain to you it doesn't work like that. You are assuming something you don't have any knowledge of, and so you would have been better off asking me how to do it versus assuming that it can't be done or people haven't tried to do it. Right? I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
You're bringing a lot of assumptions to the conversation. Why not you have someone who's in the profession who knows how to actually get it done? You could simply just ask me, "Hey brother, what do you think is the best way to remove bad police officers?" You have black officers that report other bad officers that are black, white, Hispanic, and Asian. So what you're saying is not true.
Well, you assume that this is an individual problem. These are bad people sprinkled here, there. No, the whole system is racist, man.
So then again, it goes back to, how do you fix it then? If the
you
whole
you
system is racist.
you fix it by if people like yourself get educated on the system and then you move
Hmm.
into a powerful position in the police department above the commissioner, maybe even the mayor. You know what I'm saying? Because you may be targeted for racism on your job.
Hmm.
You put in a complaint about it. That complaint ain't going but so far. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, there ain't no racism here, buddy.
What do you do
You're
for a
just
What do you do for a
strange.
living?
I'm an electronic engineer.
All right, you're an electronic engineer.
Yeah.
What was the first job that you've had growing up as a young man? What was the first job?
was a technician in Chicago.
All right. Do you work for yourself or do you work for the city or a company?
Self-employed.
You're self-employed. Have you
Yeah.
ever worked for anybody outside of yourself?
Oh yeah, I worked in corporate America for God 25 years.
All right. So you put in some work out here.
Yeah.
You have children.
Yep.
All right. Your children.
I've got grandchildren.
Well, brother, you don't look your age, brother. You don't look your age.
I'm half 100, man.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Looking good, man. You're looking good.
Appreciate it.
The problem is, from what I see, is that yes, there's an education issue. I keep asking you, how are you going to pull it off? How do you pull it off? Well,
And I keep telling you, Black people have to stop saying racism don't exist. It's not that bad. It's only small few individuals that's racist. No. See, white people they get benefits from the system.
again, how do you fix the? I'm asking you. You're telling me something. I'm telling you, how do you get it done? How do you get it done?
You spend an hour and 23 minutes and you watch that video by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. That's how you start to get it done. Because again, your goal is very powerful. I don't know if you know that or not. The police departments do need to be reformed, but they cannot be reformed by someone who don't really see the problem. I mean, that's as simple as that. Hey, I've got to get off this live, man. It's been good talking to you. I'm gonna keep following you because I need to continue to understand the minds of my brothers and sisters who simply don't understand the system of racism, white supremacy. But you be safe out there, man.
Appreciate it, brother. We got to address that. Double Will, give me a second. This is the problem, right? I keep telling people how powerful this is. The mind. The power of the mind, you guys. You become a victim of the same thing you're trying to free yourself from. Ignorance. Ignorance. You know what's scary to me is that perception's reality. You can just believe something so strong. What did he say? He came in here just listen, shout out to him. I'm not mad at it. I think the problem is, man, our community needs some work, man. We're all over the place. Can't stay focused on one objective. What is the solution? Everything is white supremacy, you guys. You don't know any better. You're trapped in this damn matrix. The matrix of ignorance, you guys. You can't make this up. I never said people aren't racist. You guys, what was that? Can someone explain to me what that was? we get into a holding pattern of stupidity in our community. We just stay in it. We marinate in it. We get Dre says you get comfortable in your ignorance. Some of us are lost. Some of us are lost.